Good morning, it's Rob. And we're going to talk about something today that doesn't get talked about a lot, and I think it needs to get talked about a little bit. We're going to talk about doing your business out in the woods when you're out camping. We are up here in the San Isabel National Forest in south central New Mexico in just a really pretty spot. The only thing wrong with this place is that they've got a fire ban going and we can't build a campfire. That's a drag. There ain't no fire danger, I'm just going to tell you, everything's green and pretty, but they say we can't build a fire. But that's not what we're talking about. We're going to talk about a little bit of etiquette and courtesy and hygiene when you're out in the woods camping. I don't think I've ever seen anybody talk about this. I'm sure somebody has. When we got here, one of the first things we found was where somebody came right here. You can see where the camp is right there. We're not even 100 feet away. And somebody decided this would be a great spot to do their business, drop a log, and impress the world. And I'm saying they wanted to impress the world because they didn't bother to cover it up. Now, I've come over here since then and kind of covered it up. But right down there, you can see the edges of some toilet paper sticking out. They left enough toilet paper for about 3 trips to an outhouse as far as I'm concerned, but that's everybody's business themselves. But if you're going to do your business, number one, get away from camp. I guess I'll give them credit. At least they didn't do it in the middle of camp, right over there by where the campfire would be. So we'll give them credit for that, but that's all the credit they get. The other spot was, the other thing about it was that they didn't cover it or do anything, just left it sitting right on top of the ground. There's no need for that. This ground is really easy to do with what you need to do. We're going to walk up here a little ways and we're going to talk about how you get a little ways away from camp, get out of the main path. So we're on a path right here. And I've been lots of places where people just got right on the path and did that. Why would people do that? Nobody wants to see your business. They really don't, even if you're proud of it. If you're proud of it, go get one person and show them, and then come cover it up. We're going to walk up here to a little spot that I happen to have already pre-approved and know is good. This gets us about 400 or 500 feet away from camp. That's not that far. Even if you have to go bad, it's still no big deal. And yes, it's uphill, and yes, I'm a little bit out of shape because we're at about 10,000 feet right here. There's a couple of different tricks. We're up here in a little spot where you can see all directions, which is kind of handy because if you're doing your business, maybe nobody will sneak up on you. I'm going to shut this off just for a second. Be right back. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. I gouged my arm on the way up here because I was watching what the camera was seeing instead of where I was going, and hooked a little bit of a tree limb, and I got a little boo-boo. Had to wipe the blood up, make sure it wasn't anything big deal. You know, first aid, prevention, all that kind of stuff. So we were talking about doing your business in the woods. There's a lot of different ways to do it. When I go up in a place like this where there's dead trees, down trees, that kind of thing, I look for a spot that I don't have to squat. Squatting is for, well, it ain't for guys my age. What I do is I look for a tree limb that I can sit on and hang my rear end across on the back side there. That makes it a lot easier to start with. Now you can just lean up against it and brace yourself, and that works too, but it's a lot more comfortable if you can actually sit down. That's why toilets were invented. So you can sit down and be a little more comfortable when you do that. The trick to do it is find a spot that's about the right size, sit on it one time, and if you do it before you need to go, that saves a step too. Find a place you can sit down, see about how high it comes up on your legs, see if it's comfortable, see if it's too low, see if it's too tall. The spot I picked right here was a little bit too tall because I didn't pre-plan it. I was just in a hurry and got out here, and that's where I landed, if you want to call it that. But I took the time and I dug a little hole on the backside, pulled out a couple of rocks. I'm looking at a squirrel. Squirrel! And got set down there and realized it was a little taller than it needed to be. So later on I came back and built a platform for my feet so that I can sit up and balance just right. And you know, if the ground is wet, that gets me off the wet ground too, so no big deal. Here's the thing about it. You don't have to do much more than anything other than take a stick and scrape a hole in the dirt It doesn't have to be much of a hole. I mean, if you get 3 inches down, couple of inches down, something so that you can get into that little bit of layer, then when you're done, plop, plop, wipe, wipe, drop, cover it up, and nature will take care of it. First time it gets a rain, it's going to dissolve that toilet paper underground, and it's going to go away. If you want to go the extra mile, you can lay a couple of broken limbs or sticks across it, which is kind of a courteous thing. Piece of bark, something like that, over the top. It's not that hard to do. If you really want to go the extra mile, you can go look for a rock that you can set over the top, which is a good thing to do too. But you do something. You get it out of sight. And you get it where nature will take care of it without somebody coming along and seeing it or stepping in it or whatever else. It's not hard to do. This hole over here I dug, that'll be good for the whole time I'm here. I'll cover it up little by little as I go, so it'll start taking care of itself. There'll be bugs, not bad, but they'll be concentrating on that. When I'm done, I will cover it all back up. I'll take those sticks, my footrest, I'll take that and move it over the top of it. And in a couple of weeks, it won't even be visible. Look, this is the kind of thing that's just courteous. Other people are going to be coming up here too. Don't throw your trash on the ground. Pick up even the little stuff. You know, maybe later I'll do a video about how the Forest Service is making it harder and harder and harder for us to get out in the woods and enjoy ourselves. They want to charge for everything, and I hate that, but you know, I kind of get it, because people are slobs. People are stupid sometimes. I don't have a very high tolerance for stupid. I got a low tolerance for stupid, even if it's myself. In fact, if it's myself, I've got a lower tolerance for stupid than I do for other people. So show some courtesy when you go in the woods. Do what you got to do, but do it right. Think about somebody else coming along. Think about not leaving a mess for the next people. I've heard lots of people say, oh, the animals will take care of it. Oh, it'll decompose in a few days. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It takes a little bit of time. But if it's under the ground, if it's got some of the microbiotics that are in the soil anyway, they'll work on it and it'll be gone and it'll be no big deal. And everybody will unconsciously thank you because they didn't see what you left behind. So anyway, there's Rob's handy tip of the day. Thanks for listening. Okay, so for everybody that made it this far, you are now, congratulations, you are now automatically entered into a scavenger hunt. And the reason you're entered into a scavenger hunt is because, what the heck, you know, the funny thing, I was talking about being stupid a little earlier on that video, you know, and of course that was, what, now at this point about 3 weeks ago while we were up there, but you didn't see it. But sitting right off to the right-hand side of the picture was a shovel that I used to do the digging with. It was a shovel like this right here. This is called a sharpshooter, or some people call it a tile spade. It's a really good shovel. The one that was sitting just off camera is a better shovel than this one. It's much newer, shinier, but the same basic thing. You know, the D handle, the good, you know, easy digging, slimline thing. And if you'll let me know if you're going to be in that part of the world, I give you directions to it, because that shovel's still sitting there unless somebody else went up and found it, which I doubt. There was one guy that was camped across from us that helped us out a bunch. Good guy from Fort Worth, Texas, no less, named Jay. Jay, if you happen to see this, look forward to seeing you again. Anyway, though, I just wanted to throw this in there. There's a scavenger hunt going on, and you're invited. I doubt that anybody will be there, but it'd be hilarious if you were. I got a friend of mine actually from around here that's going to be camping up in that part of the world, but he's not going where we were. Anyway, south central Colorado, in the mountains just west of Trinidad, Colorado. I got it right this time, I didn't say New Mexico. Anyway, I thought y'all would get a kick out of that, and that's all there is to it. I just wanted to throw that in for kind of fun. I hope you appreciated the video. I mean, you know, not that you had to love it or anything, but when you go out in the woods, be courteous. You know, a bear can crap in the woods and do wherever he wants to. People shouldn't do it that way. Enough of that. Thanks, y'all.